What's going on, everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs, and today I'm going to do another subscriber redesign.
Dreadlabs.
Alright, so this design is by Constanda on Discord, and I thought it would be like a really cool design to try some different stuff on, because so with the skulls and everything, I thought it might be really interesting to do like some bitmap effects and stuff. So yeah, I think we should just dive into this. Alright, so let's grab the original skulls here, and we'll drag this into a new document. And let's add a black background here. Alright, so let's see what this is. Okay. Alright, so the squares are done with the patchwork filter. Actually pretty interesting. Didn't really know that you could do that. And then the palette knife gives it like a little bit of a threshold filter, I guess. Yeah. Alright, I would not think about using the patchwork here to do like the pixelated effects, but that's actually really interesting. So let me just grab a threshold filter, and I'm actually going to turn them off because I want to do I'm actually going to delete the patchwork here and the unused filters. And now we're going to play with the threshold. I think at this stage I want to leave most parts of the skulls visible, but I actually want to see what it looks like if we convert this into a bitmap image. So let's firstly convert the mode to grayscale, and we don't have to merge it yet. All right. All right, let's see when we go to filter, and we'll pixelate it. I think I like this. All right, let's make a duplicate here. Duplicate this to a new document. And we'll see if we can do some bitmap effects on this, but I want to blur it first a little bit so we can actually have something to bitmap. Right, that might be a little bit interesting, but let's see if we can. I don't want to actually rotate the squares. Let's see what that looks like. So let's leave the angle at 0 and maybe like frequency at 6. Pretty interesting, but I'm not really that fond of the squares, I think. Let me just do some experiments and we'll see what we come up with. Oh, I like this. I really like this. Okay, so let's see if we can increase the frequency. Maybe do like 9. Yeah, all right. And let's convert it back to a black and white image. And now we actually should be able to unlock this and drag it back into our normal image. So we can basically resize this. Just make sure that the interpolation is set to nearest neighbor, because then we don't lose any of the quality and it won't be blurry. And let's put this to lighten. So yeah, I really like this actually. Let's see if we can do some. I think I have a font that I really like for this. And let's duplicate this to a new canvas again, or to a new document. So with the black background here, we can do a Photoshop action. This isn't the Dreadlabs 10K package. You can just download this free on our website, and we can run the halftone edges here. And let's see what happens if we. All right, this is kind of okay, but I am actually gonna Command Z here. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to image, again to bitmap, and I'm gonna use the lines again. This time also at 0, maybe like at 90 degrees actually. And then maybe the frequency at 10. Oh yeah, sorry, we should just blur this first, obviously. Maybe with a radial blur, and then put it to zoom. That might be interesting. And then a little bit of a Gaussian blur to soften up the edges. All right, and now we go to bitmap. So fine, let's just leave it at 150 actually. All right, this is pretty cool actually. So put it back to grayscale. And I'm gonna remove the black background here by just dragging in this layer. And now if we convert it to a smart object, we have a white text here. Let's align that properly and see what happens if we give it a black color overlay. And now maybe you have to blur it a little bit, or we it's not really like that visible. Let's make all of these invisible, the skull layers and stuff. And now I want to give this a blur, maybe like a motion blur, so that it, yeah, as well as a normal Gaussian blur, so that it will also be a little bit expanded in the width. If we would be adding a levels to this, let's group this, and now adding a levels to this. Where is it? Okay, and now what we want to do is add a black background here, or actually a white one, and then let's drag these in so we can make the edges a little bit harder. Like this. Okay, so they will actually expand beyond like our text now, which is nice. And we got ourselves like a really cool outline with these like bumpy edges at the top and the bottom. Yeah, this is fine actually. And now we can group this as a whole. And we'll just call this text shadow. And by double clicking and dragging the white color in here, let me just add the black background again. We can basically just, by holding Alt or Option, we can split these two tags here, and when we just drag them in, we can just remove all of the white color altogether. Like this. Alright, let's add some guides. We'll click on New Guide from Layout here, and we'll do a 60 pixel margin on each side actually. I think I want to do something with the text here as well. So let's just go to Filter, blur this with a box blur. Maybe like 10. Pretty cool. Now we're basically going to do the same thing that we did with the text shadow, but the other way around. So we'll add a new layer underneath our text. We'll fill it up with black. And we can group this. And now we can add a levels adjustment to this, basically shrinking our text a little bit and hardening the edges however we want. And now we can group this all together, and we'll call this white, or we'll call this just Brotherhood, so we know which text it is. And we can just drag in the black color from this. So yeah, this is so that the text will be a little bit like shrunk in. Doesn't have to be that drastic, I guess. Something like this should be fine, yeah. Okay, I want to do something else first. Let's do the circle that was in the original artwork as well. So we'll do an ellipse. We will remove the stroke, or remove the fill, and we'll add a stroke. This should be fine. Let's scale it down a little bit in the height axis, or in the y-axis actually. And under Photoshop Actions, we'll go to our Dreadlabs 10K pack. You can get this for free in the Dreadlabs web store. We'll add a chrome effect here. Oh, right. Let's just remove it for a second. We'll need to go to image mode and convert our image back to an RGB color document. We won't merge anything, and we won't rasterize anything either. This tempered a little bit with these skulls, but I'm actually fine with that because we can just adjust the threshold like this. And we're back where we were. So let's just run the chrome effect again. All right. And the effect didn't work at first because we were working with a hue saturation, and there is no saturation in a black and white image in Photoshop. But we can actually remove that, and we can customize it by diving into the smart object, go to the bevel and emboss, and we'll play around with this so there's a little bit more color in here. And if we keep it around 30, you'll see that this won't be as white as it was before. And now we can just save it up again. And we'll add a threshold to that same image. And now we'll kind of have like the chrome effect here, even though it's just one color. And we'll group this up and we'll call this ring. And we'll put it to the back here. And let's dive into one of our dread shapes packs. And let's grab this one. We don't actually need a threshold here, do we? No, there's already a threshold here, so that's actually fine. Now, what I want to do is let's grab this and put it here first. I want to blur this up a little bit. Maybe like, no, not 120. 20 pixels maybe. 15. Let's keep that 15. And we'll morph it around a little bit like this. Again, let's put a black background to it and color this white with the color overlay. And let's add some noise to it with the Dreadlabs 10K package again, with the easy noise overlay. And if we group all of this up, and we'll add a threshold filter, you can see that we kind of have like those distressed edges. But it's not as drastic as when we just would use the dissolve blend overlay, as you can see here. And if you want these pixels to be a little bit larger, you can just go to the noise overlay and we will go to pixelate, mosaic, and we can just increase the size. If we leave it at 2 squares, you can see that it's a little bit better, like done. Let's see if we up this. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want this to be like, yeah, I'm kind of satisfied with this, and we can just convert this to a smart object. Oh wait, let's just group this first. And we'll remove the black background here. Call this dread shape, and we can just convert it into a smart object. And now we can once more pixelate it a little bit more. And now if we put this under our threshold, not really sure why it's invisible now. Okay, it's just because the skulls are in front here. So we can just scale this up like this. And it might actually be cool if we would do, let's dive into this. If we would do it like a bevel and emboss effect here. Right, so now we can just group this, and now we can add a bevel and emboss to it, I think. Right. So the way this works is it's still at the black background. So when you would add the bevel and emboss here, Photoshop thinks that it's still there, so it will add the edges here instead of on the white here, if that makes sense. Right, let's increase the size a little bit like this, and now we can save it up. And let's see if we remove the skulls here, any ring. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see actually with the mosaic on, so let's just delete that for a second. Okay, let's go back into here and we'll add a black stroke, maybe 5 pixels on the outside, and then another one with a white stroke, and let's put that at the bottom so we can actually see both. And then once more a black one with 15 pixels, so we kind of have something like this. Yeah, okay, that looks better. And let's put it over the ring here like this. And now I want to actually check if the mosaic works. Yes, this looks way better. All right, this is what I was going for. All right, now I just want to grab all of this, group it, and call it artwork. I want to do something with these guides first. Completely forgot about that. So let's turn the color to white, and we'll see if we have like a mono-spaced font that we can use. Okay, so this is not really my thing here. Let's see if we have another one, maybe like a pixelated one or something. All right, so now I got some text here. I'm really happy with how this turns out so far. Let's just create a smart object of this. I want to see if I can do some overlays, maybe some displacements. All I actually saw the glitch displacement by Black Market's Reactor, and I don't have Reactor yet, but I might be able to create a displacement map from something that I have laying around. So let me just make a new document. So let me drag in the glitch overlay from the Dreadlabs video package, or perhaps we can use this as a displacement map. So we'll just drag this in, make it black and white, increase the contrast a little bit, I think, and we'll save this up. All right, and let's see if we can actually do something useful with this. We can just delete those. All right, let's go to Filter, Distort, Displace, very hefty horizontal scale, and just 10 in the vertical scale. And we will use the glitch overlay that we just made. Wow, actually really like this. The only thing is that it's a little bit hard to read. Oh, I wish I had Reactor for this, because I think you can just like select the parts that you want. Let's make this a little bit less drastic. Oh, I love this. I love the glitch. Okay. And let's put a threshold here to make sure that like it's either all black or white. I think it already was like that, but I'm not sure about the... Yeah, okay, the text was just a little bit blurry, as you can see. All right, I really love how this one turned out. Let's group this once more and call this artwork. So in my textures folder, I have this old like TV VHS texture. I have no idea where I got it. I got it like a few years ago, but it's been really cool for some motion project, but also for something like this perhaps. Yeah, it gives that little subtle kind of look, I guess. Okay, I want to try a couple of things. Let's just convert this into a smart object. If we blur this up a little bit, 1 pixel or 2, maybe like 2. And we can use a gradient map. I learned this technique from Hunter on Instagram. I'll link his Instagram in the description below. But basically he has like a lot of gradient maps where you could do something like this, where you get like subtle edges on your subtle ink bleed edges on your work. For example, if I would change this a little bit to maybe like actual green, yeah, as you can see, you can get like these really cool like subtle edges. He has a quick tutorial on it. It's basically what I just did, but it's been really cool and helpful for me. So yeah, you should definitely follow this guy on Instagram. All right, let's make this the Dreadlabs background color, I guess. While we're at it, maybe we should add some noise. I don't really see the difference here. Maybe if we like make the noise a little bit more contrasty. Okay, this is kind of cool as well, the details here. All right, let's see what else. So we could do an RGB glitch, but I'm not really sure if that would fit the artwork here. Maybe if we add like a purple here at the very end. Oh, I love that actually. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. So this is what we came up with. I just really like experimenting with visuals like this and just distort and displace the hell out of this, putting it in thresholds, bitmap effects, pixelating it. Yeah, it's been really cool. It's not really like readable at the top and the bottom anymore, but yeah, I don't know. I like the aesthetics over the functionality of this artwork. So yeah, that's been it. I want to thank Constanta for sending in his submission for the subscriber redesign series. I hope you learned something from this. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can join us on Discord. And I want to take a moment in this video to thank my patrons. Because of my patrons, I am actually able to make these videos for you guys. And the more patrons I get, the better I'm able to do this as a full-time job. And if I can do this as a full-time job, that means that I can do more videos for you guys. Basically, more patrons means more tutorials, means more video content. With that being said, if you become a patron, you'll get access to this project file and every other tutorial project file that's on my YouTube. That's not even all, because you can also get a 15% discount in the Dreadlabs web store, and you'll get a Discord exclusive role with an exclusive channel to it. So if you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description. With that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. And this was Tom from Dreadlabs signing off. See you in the next video.